Carl here from Brrraaains Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial for short. Horror movie review time. This one is directed by Richard Cletteram, who co-wrote the story with John Riley. The Tower. It's a bit of a hidden gem that combines dystopian sci-fi elements with a thriller tone and light touches of horror. I do feel like I'm cheating here. This is barely a horror movie. It's just little moments here and there. Paul Reiser plays Tony Minow, a smart-ass musician struggling to pay the rent. He gets a job in an office block that is controlled by an all-seeing security system that is as futuristic as early 90s imaginations could manage. Tony struggles to get his head around the demands of the system, repeatedly getting security violations as he attempts to circumvent what he sees as unnecessary obstacles. These security violations might seem unimportant at first, but the more he gets, the more the system starts to see him as a threat.
So now you're not finishing your words, Caston. It's very hard.
It has been designed
What?
for
I don't know
your
what that means.
safety and comfort. Continue.
Ooh, Cass likes that.
Security violation.
Oui.
Continued tampering may damage the elevator control.
So, forced by his new boss to work late, hating the corporate lifestyle, and missing out on a date, Tony's night just isn't what he imagined it to be. He wants to get the work done and get out as quickly and as painlessly as possible, which now doesn't gel with a security system already suspicious of him. Those security violations are going to come back and bite Tony in the ass as the system finally has enough and decides he needs to be terminated. Can his co-worker Linda, played by Susan Norman, help him escape the tower?
I don't know what to believe.
Grab a rail. There we go.
Relax. Emergency power will kick right in.
The Tower is a lot of fun, even if it is incredibly dated. And that's not even just by today's standards either. A lot of these effects, green screen effects, were looking ropey by the mid-90s. It does, though, make up for those shortcomings through a captivating location that feels cold and isolating, but modern and sleek at the same time. It kind of reminded me of the sort of tower in Gremlins 2, the new batch, that film, that kind of building, really cool and imaginative stuff. The actual tower is something that is believable, as it is the advanced security system that gets more and more psychotic as the movie progresses. Something that Paul Reiser has a lot of fun playing off against. Now, you might recognise that name. You'd certainly recognise the face if you're an Alien fan, because it's hard to see this man as anything but a villain thanks to his infamous role in Aliens. But here he is, and he is charming. He is witty and funny to watch. He certainly seems to relish the role and throws a lot of energy into his performance. I really enjoyed him in this. I thoroughly thought he was great. And you can tell that everyone involved wanted to make the tower pretty special. It doesn't quite pay off, but it does result in a bit of a 90s hidden gem. I do urge you to seek this one out if you've never seen it. It's of a time, it's of an earlier time. But it's just unique enough, interesting enough to really, really capture the imagination. I wish they were being a bit braver in a more horror aspect, but on the whole dystopian sci-fi side of things, they nail it. They nail it.
The temperature will now drop. Below 20 degrees, limbs will stiffen, then go numb. Below 0, lungs will burn. Eventually, the brain will not receive enough oxygen, and Tony Minow will be terminated.
All right. I'll move.
It is The Tower. You got any thoughts and you know what to do? Let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please help us out by giving us a thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button. If you really liked what you saw, consider donating to keep the website and channel running by buying us a coffee via our coffee page or picking up some merch from our Big Cartel store. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as via our social media, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, as well as listen to our interviews via SoundCloud, Apple Music and Spotify. Just search for GBHBL. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?